Welcome back to Modes with Friends, everybody. I'm Sean Daniel.
I'm Ian Stich.
And I think I would be so presumptuous to say this is the greatest episode of Modes with Friends thus far.
Thus far, possibly.
Dissecting the immortal John Williams in the Imperial March, the Darth Vader theme from Star Wars.
Star Wars.
But before we get to it, you're going to have to suffer through some banter.
Yes, you
as
will.
usual. Because we've accepted
Surprise.
the Jens Larson challenge.
Jens Larson.
If you don't know Jens, awesome jazz teacher. I'm
Great
going to
jazz
link you
teacher.
to his channel. If you're into jazz at all, go sub over there.
Hi, Jens.
But he was nice enough to associate the modes with the Star Wars films. So we're going to do the same.
Yes.
Right?
And you're going to learn right here that I kind of have to bow out because
Ian's like a Star Wars fan that has only seen like 3 of the movies, the originals. Anyways, we're gonna just get right off to it, right?
Sorry. Yeah.
What are we gonna start with? Episode 4, the first one, right?
Yeah.
So Star Wars: A New Hope, the
New
very
Hope.
first one. Which mode is that?
That's Lydian.
Absolutely Lydian.
Because it's our favorite
right?
mode.
Yeah, it's not necessarily my favorite Star Wars.
No, true.
Lydian is our favorite mode. Why is it? It's the most hopeful of the modes,
Yeah.
I think.
You get past that sharp 4.
That sharp 4
and then
flat
it's
5, a
cruising
little
on
bit of
home.
diffidence. I feel like the scene in Dagobah where Luke arrives there is the sharp 4.
That's it right there.
Right? It's a little weird, but then it's
arrived.
okay. But then you find out that Master Yoda is who he is, and you realize it's a sharp 4, not a flat 5.
Oh,
It's kind of deep.
That is
But
deep.
anyway, so episode 5. Oh, also too because episode 4 is the fourth
mode,
Duh.
Lydian.
Yeah. So
Should've seen that
Empire
coming.
Strikes Back. I think this is obviously the minor scale, right?
Yeah.
Aeolian.
They're coming.
Yeah,
Dark.
Yeah, it's right. It's dark. It's dark, but it's awesome.
It is awesome.
A lot of people's favorite Star Wars movie.
It's like the
I
solo
think.
stairway.
Yeah, right. It really is actually.
Yeah, it's sinister.
Yeah. So then we got Return of the Jedi.
Return of the
episode
Jedi.
6.
Yes, my favorite movie.
The major scale.
Made easy.
100% the major
Major
scale.
scale.
And why? Resolution. Songs resolve on the 1.
Yeah, just
Right.
and we end it here.
Medal ceremony.
Boom.
There it is.
Yeah, there it
right.
is,
You
yeah.
just put it around,
Yeah.
and there it is. You've crowned it. Return of the Jedi.
Jedi done.
Great one. Right.
Easy.
Then we've got the prequels next.
Ugh,
Awful.
awful.
Shout out to Jens for calling them the major pentatonic scale because they're flavorless.
Flavorless.
That's pretty hilarious.
Flavorless.
But I'm going to say that they're all lumped into the Locrian mode.
Yes.
Because they're just awful.
They're awful.
They're unusable.
Terrible.
I don't need anything from them. But
Yeah.
if they're intervals within the Locrian mode, I would say, what's the worst interval in Locrian? I guess probably the flat 5.
Flat 5?
That'd be Revenge of the Sith, which
Yeah.
I've kind of recently watched. Awful from beginning to end.
Yeah.
I would say Clone Wars is the 2.
Flat
Because it's the
2.
second one,
flat
but it's
2.
flat. It's flat 2.
It came in flat.
Yeah, exactly. Very flat. And then Phantom Menace, I guess, would be the 1 in Locrian.
Because it's the best note of Locrian.
Because it's not. There are moments.
It's like any one can
It's
be any
cool.
other mode.
Yeah,
right?
it's like I have use for like a minor 7 flat 5 chord, in the scheme of a progression. Whatever.
Yeah,
Anyways.
I'll put it in there.
Force Awakens. I think that's gonna be Dorian.
Yeah.
Right. A little spicy. It's got like the feisty Rey temperament, I suppose.
He's barking up the
It's
wrong
really
Ewok
cool.
right now.
Yeah, he hasn't seen Force Awakens yet.
Nope.
Rogue One obviously is Mixolydian. Spoiler alert.
I heard it.
Does not have a happy ending. It has a flat
Flat
7
7.
at the end, right? Ooh.
You.
Otherwise, I mean, it's great.
Yeah.
Bluesy, cool. And then there's Phrygian, which I think would be the Christmas special, right?
What?
There's a Christmas special, which you should YouTube right after this. But don't go away, because now we're going to get into the John Williams masterclass right now. The man.
4 French horns on the left, 4 French horns on
No,
the
that's
right.
Hans Zimmer.
Oh.
If you've seen the Hans Zimmer preview for this, oh my God. That's it.
I thought that's what you said.
No,
the
we're gonna
masterclass.
do a different video on that.
Okay.
John Williams.
Okay.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say greatest living musician. And maybe after this video, you'll understand a little bit more.
Yeah.
Why?
It's intense.
So finally, the banter is complete. Ian's gonna play the Imperial March. Do you want me to play the chords?
Sure.
First?
1, 2, ready, and. Ooh. Oof.
One of the great themes of
Yeah.
all time. So much, relatively simple,
Relatively simple.
but so much going on when you deconstruct it.
So much. I'm just going to talk for a second because there's so much
Have at
going
it.
on that you look at it that Sean and I were talking about this. He heard this melody in his head. He knew
Sure.
he was writing the song. He did a lot of character analysis, which we'll talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Got the melody in his head and then designed this whole song or composed this whole song. So even though we're going to get into nook and crannies, I don't want you to think for a second that he had these
Yeah,
theoretical ideas.
then now I'm gonna go to G harmonic minor to the D show, whatever.
We're talking about why it works, how you get these sounds, and what you can walk away with from this master class.
And it starts
Yes.
with a major arpeggio.
Interesting.
Right? Or
Yes,
do you want to talk about the chords first?
No, let's talk about the major arpeggio first, then get to the chords.
Cool. All right.
Because it's a surprise, right?
It is.
To hear, like, if you hear that song and you go, that's a major arpeggio, it kind of is, because we're starting here on the E flat. And if you look at the E flat, we have the six for the A, and we have this 1, 3, 5, right? But if you play it in a different order, 3, 1, 5, 3, 1, 5, 3. Then all of a sudden, you hear this distinct Imperial March, but before that movie came out, that might have still had a chance to sound major, but John Williams ruined that movement
for everybody.
He successfully took a major arpeggio and made it sound dissonant. But to add to it, now we're going to talk about the chord progression first. So when you look up the song, it's in B flat major, and we're starting on the G minor, which is the relative minor.
Exactly.
Okay. So, okay, great. So let's just hear that arpeggio over a G minor. 1, 2, ready, and. That is dark as dark can be. Kind of like Darth Vader.
It really is.
Okay.
Wow, there
Right
we go.
there, powerful.
But there's more, which we're going to get to later.
Yes.
But right, how is that a major arpeggio, you ask?
Oh, great. You want to handle this one?
I think so. So we've got, the 1, 3, 5 of this chord, and we're really banging home on that 3.
Yes.
And if we're just starting there, if we don't know that this is the actual 4 chord or a Lydian thing,
that's what
if we're starting on a major chord and we're perceiving this as our tonal center, the third note of a major, we get Phrygian, which is like, Phrygian, oh, it's major, I was just kidding. But it's like, it's crazy.
It's crazy.
Right? It's just and that's how important tonal center is.
Tonal center.
And modally understanding how things can help in your own composition.
It's so important it ends RE, tonal center.
That's right.
Okay, so thank you, Sean. We have the G minor, and now we get to the overall key, B flat major, right? And again, now we're on the E flat. So we gotta look at that. So we have this E flat major arpeggio, and that is the 4 of B flat major. So hence we have this Lydian arpeggio.
It's like, very playful, right?
But not played in a different order. You get some not
the
playful.
Sound of Hope, as we talked about before.
Oh, but now we're going to talk about hope and what happens after hope with parallel scales. So we have this Lydian.
Always happen after hope.
We get darkness in Star Wars.
Oh, I see.
Okay. So now we have this Lydian arpeggio, and now John Williams, being the master that he is, really, Sean and I were talking about this. We honestly believe he really analyzed the character or the arc of Darth Vader. And we're going to talk about the power of parallel modes. So we start with this parallel mode, first mode of Lydian, and then we're going to end with the minor. Okay, so here we have the major third.
Right.
Here we have the minor third. So we have this riff in the Lydian. And now we're going to take it right now to the minor.
Oh my God! Right there.
It
has destabilized everything. And that shows you why Lydian is so playful, because it is kind of fragile.
Yes.
Right. What makes Lydian playful is that it's grounded by a major third. As soon as you flatten that, make it a minor third, all of a sudden, what was a playful Lydian, as soon as you do that,
it starts taking on that low grade diminished sound.
Harmonic minor,
right?
So I just want to. John Williams is the low-key master of the harmonic minor scale.
Yes.
And I think this is what is happening in this progression, the way I see it.
Yes, and it's actually quite powerful.
Right. So what do? We took Lydian. We took something that's playful. We degrounded it. Took its major third away.
Yes.
Made it minor, which in the story, Obi-Wan is Anakin's major third.
There he is.
His
right
mentor,
there.
right? He grounds him. There's already something a little funky going on with Anakin.
Yeah.
He's got that dissonance, but we see it as a sharp 4, not a flat 5, because that 5 is there and the major third is there. Take away the major third, take away Obi-Wan's leadership. What are you left with?
Darkness.
Oh my gosh, pure darkness. And then, what's the harmonic minor scale? It's the minor scale with a major 7 interval. So right here, I'll do there's the minor scale, harmonic minor is when you end that. Right?
Yes.
And he John Williams is a master of this.
Master of this.
Quick side note, another great John Williams theme. The Harry Potter theme.
Oh, that's a dodgy question.
Right there, what's that? Ooh. That's the A minor harmonic
minor, leading tone.
Yeah, leading tone. Again, is it harmonic minor? Is it just a leading tone you're adding to the minor scale? Whatever. Same difference.
Same difference, but if you use it right, like John Williams, you can actually say, well, it's a harmonic minor and it's a leading tone.
Exactly.
So let's start from the ground up. We have the chord progression. We're in B flat major. We're using the G minor. The song actually does jump to the E minor.
Right.
Okay, we'll talk about that right now.
Or the E flat.
Yeah, E flat minor. Thank you. And now this riff is a parallel, like this rocking boat or rocking starship. Yeah, did I nail it?
Sure. Yeah.
Great. Okay.
Starships. Yeah. Exactly.
between Lydian and minor, back and forth.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. What a great feel. But now let's talk about the genius.
That's right.
Okay? So if you take that E flat harmonic minor, that is the major seventh of the harmonic minor. But now listen to this riff. To the major seventh of the Lydian, which becomes really the major seventh of the harmonic minor of E flat minor.
So he's bridging what's beautiful about Lydian, the major seven, turning it into what's filthy. About minor, the harmonic minor, but it's the same note. Which, if we analyze the character of Darth Vader,
please do.
Right? He's this evil dude that has good buried deep inside of him, deep within, so deep that no one can even see it. Select for Luke Skywalker and
John Williams.
That's right, and John Williams, right? Because what's the farthest away you can get from a root note if you're ascending?
The major seven.
The major seven, right? So that major seven is the only good thing about what's inside of it, and it's used as a bridge, as a balance between good and evil.
You're absolutely right. I mean, if you listen to this riff, you hear it. You hear the notes that are special. That note right there, everyone perks
grabs
up.
you.
It's like, what was that? What was that?
Right?
Is that some good? Right
it's
there?
It's like not everything is as it seems.
No, and then he uses it as a harmonic minor, the seventh into the minor, and now we gotta talk about that note.
Right?
This is
What's
crazy.
That? That's the harmonic minor of a different minor
of the
chord,
G minor,
which is we're in the key of G minor.
And that becomes the harmonic minor, which leads back home, which is this note here. So we're going from the harmonic minor note of G back to the resolve. So this amazing balance of starting with the harmonic minor lead-in into the minor fall of the character, and then into the harmonic minor back to the resolve.
Climbing back out.
Of the G.
Which is really the entire life story of Darth Vader.
Yes.
Right?
Which leads us again to believe he really knew what he was doing when he wrote this.
I don't think this was an accident. I think John Williams just knows his stuff, and this is, again, what... And then the great thing is, all the music in Star Wars is great, too.
Yes.
You know, he's sitting around there, he just hears this, composes, like, the most badass stuff around it. And then he just, puts that sheet away and... Right, and then it's just right into like Gypsy Jazz.
I wanted to grab one of those instruments.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Doing it.
John Williams.
John Williams is the man.
Crazy good, right?
Crazy good, unreal. Composer quality, musician there. And I know we kind of went deep, but we try to explain why it works. Major arpeggio over a minor chord, parallel modes working together to kind of fight balance, which you can use in your own songwriting. You can do it. Using the harmonic minor to lead into a minor scale, to lead out of a minor scale.
Exactly.
Unreal stuff. Did we miss anything?
I don't think so. I think that's pretty good.
You can leave comments on Stich Method.
For sure. Head on over to Ian's channel, sub over there. Tell him what a fool he is for not seeing any of the new Star Wars movies.
I can't. It's too late to come up with an excuse. Like I'm waiting till they all come out or anything.
Yeah, you're like, it's. No, there are ways to see it.
There are ways. I know.
It's messed up.
It's very easy.
But I guess you could still sub over there. Whatever.
Sorry.
Yeah. So, anyways, until next time.